5 in central Pennsylvania. How's it going? Whew, boy, took a second to get that set up. How y'all doing out there? Monday. Was it April 6th? Can't keep track of the days. April 7th? Something like that. 7th. 2025. Let's see if we can't get some people to show up here on the stream before we get carried away and get started with the broadcast. Busy day, busy news day. Had me producing some videos earlier today. Yep, a couple of them. We're going to talk about those and what else is going on around the world here as soon as we get some folks in the chat, so I'm not simply talking to myself. Let me set this chat up so I can see the live chat. Live chat, there we go. All right. Yeah, Vilma Rasmus, welcome. Yes, you caught me live. But Vilma, you were concerned about where I was at. I'm here. I haven't gone anywhere. Just busy, busy, busy. Okay, proud Neanderthal is here as well. Well, it's always good to be proud Neanderthal. Oh, Steve Biko taught us to be comfortable in our skins, right? Are you part of Rob's new media company? Steve Green, what media company are you talking about? Lindy's been waiting for me. Well, I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late, but I do have other responsibilities, folks. Couldn't just disappear. You can only take a break at this time. So anyway, thanks for being here. What new media company? What are you talking about, Steve? Anton, welcome to Martinez Bots. Welcome to you as well. We can talk about Paul Mashatile, Julius Malema, Donald Trump today. Yeah, also some events unfolding in Africa. I'll send you a link. Okay, thanks. Steve, as far as the question you asked, there was an announcement in a Biz News conference by Rob Hersoff about a media company that he's involved in, and I may or may not be aware of that. Understand that people are given confidences, and I don't know what's been disclosed, so I don't know what can be said about that. Well, Lindy, that's why you're here so quickly. Gosh, I just missed one broadcast on Sunday, and people were freaking out. Marquis Pretorius, it's good to know that people are concerned that I'm not there. Wait till next week. I've already announced next week, and I won't be doing a live broadcast on the weekend, most likely, because I have a project going on. I didn't know there was a link to it. Okay, is it up and active, Steve? That's interesting. Or are you talking about the Biz News broadcast? Yeah, no, I'm familiar with the Biz News broadcast, what he said there. I was a bit surprised that he announced that. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I really can't say much more about that. Yeah, Chantel, I'm sorry you don't get notifications. I can't control YouTube. They do it their own thing. Yeah, just realize that unless something's going on, I announce it every day, 6 p.m. or thereabouts. Usually when I'm in my studio at 6 p.m., but if I'm on the road, it's when I get to. I need to clean this beard up. It's kind of scraggly there. A little bit trimming tonight might be in order. So, yeah, so, So, for instance, there have been people that visit the States recently. I've known about their business before they came. I've known what they've been up to and who they've talked to. But even though I'm a journalist, I can't simply report everything because some things are said in confidence. So you have on the record, off the record, and you have background. Okay, so and then deep background. Background is when people provide you information, you can explain, but you don't say the sources. On the record, people on the record. Off the record, you can't attribute the information to a source. Then deep background, you can't share that. It's just being shared. Hey Marilyn, how's it going? How's Lindsay? Looking dapper. Well, thank you, Malema. I appreciate that. You like the purple goes with the blue very well. Anyway. No, Chantal, I don't want you to miss anything either. I appreciate all the views and all the people rocking up to watch the content. It really, really gives me super motivation to keep doing this. Kevin says, I'm stalling your channel. How are you stalling my channel, Kevin? I'm lost. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lynette. I appreciate that. Yeah, people are liking the suit. So. Oh, it is Colonel Wyatt. Who did you think it was, man? Who did you think it was? What's going on there, Dirk? Anyway. Francois Blenot, welcome to you. Kai ZN is here. Yeah, so, no, I, over the weekend, it was a busy weekend. Colonel Sanders. You know, over the weekend, we, got a little carried away Saturday night with the with the nighttime broadcast, which is early morning. Watch all your videos you did today. It's beautiful there. Oh, thank you. That's not even the pretty part. It's very chilly and very wet outside. The rain has finally stopped. It's been raining all morning. For the first time now, I'm not seeing raindrops fall. Very cold. I stood in the rain to make those videos. Thank you, Corbin Dallas. Corbin Dallas. Lilo Dallas. Multipass. 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 Ooh, what was that? The Tuck score just got deleted. Is it updated already? Well, yeah, it's very formal. I'm teaching general officers from around the world. Girethra, welcome to you. There it is. Oh, Tuck's got. Whoa, no way. Well, that means, CB, that the final will be played in Cape Town, either at UCT or at Monty's. Ah, well, if you're in Western Cape, you're going to get to go. Hey, somebody get me a ticket. Moonbats, 140 Rand Super Chat. Thanks a lot for that. Appreciate it. Worked in Pennsylvania for 3 months. Where did you work in Pennsylvania at the time? Amazing. Colonel Sanders is that he was rejected for funding many, many times, but never gave up. Yeah, other amazing thing is he wasn't a colonel. He posted a video on his YouTube channel. Obviously not. I remember it was a short front. He cut from his business. What's this? Huh? What are you talking about, Steve? Oh, no. You're talking about that. Yeah, no. It's not on his channel. Pittsburgh. Oh, Pittsburgh. That's not West. Same man spoke to her, asking for money in his language. She spoke back and threatened her life. What? Selling your both U.S. I don't know what you're. Short videos. Well, they're not short videos, they're brief videos. Yeah. Welcome to you, Chana. Rentia Shepherd Kruger. Hello. Suits you. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yep. Oh, Garrett likes the attire as well. Why does demography get so little attention? I don't know why it gets so little, Kevin. I talk about it a lot. MCM saying, please support the channel. Yeah. Yeah, no, if you can get me a ticket, please get me a ticket. I'll reimburse you if necessary. Get me a ticket. As if I'm coming. As if I'm coming. Indicate 40 Rand. What's the news on U.S. and Iran? No, there won't be a war. We might bomb them, though. Yeah, SABC and Julius Malema. Yeah. You guys are welcome. Better than the tulips. Well, that's good news. The tulips are dying. By the way, I had an odd smell. Last night I was like, what is that smell? There's 2 sets of tulips. I thought, tulips can't be rotten, can they? They're in my kitchen. They're no longer up behind my studio. And I realized that I had taken out the trash. There was something in the trash that needed to go out. Yeah, so I took the trash out. Martin Williams Barrett, welcome to you. El Marie's back. Ruan Lombard. Nice suit. Thank you for that. Anyway, so Paul Mashatile once again opened his mouth and put his big foot in it. Daredevil, welcome to you. I think that it's time for Cyril Ramaphosa to try to find a way to get rid of Paul Mashatile. It's time for that guy to go. Well, I'm not going anywhere. What are you talking about? Refugee wealth. Look at Professor G claiming he has many applications. I have no idea who's Professor G. This isn't a Starbucks. It would be nice if it was Starbucks. Good evening, Marius. Thank you for your help and hard work in getting out the truth of South Africa. God bless you. God bless America. You're very welcome there, Generous Poison. Wendy's, keep guessing. It's not. Still got a lot showing your support, okay? Hey, man, spoke to my wife. Okay, I thought it was your wife they spoke to. Okay, I thought that was someone else. I read that already. Yeah, threatened her life, huh? How do you know he threatened her life? Did he switch to English? Yeah, there's definitely a problem with Malema's brain. One day you'll see the fruits of your labors. Rob's 2000 not playing to Steve Green. Yeah, everybody keeps remembering that. Time for Africana bill to be a vote on Congress. I didn't say it would be 30 days. I never said that, Cameron. Where did you hear that at? No, I never said that. I said it can go quickly. It can take a long time. It can never get to the floor. New security bill. Yeah, okay, much like the Zelensky having a diamond or a platinum mine is a story I haven't reported. I've mentioned it during live streams, but I haven't done a video on it. I will do a video on it now that more information is available. Lots of thoughts are out there on it. Politics Web ran a good story on it. No, it's part of a pattern of efforts to disarm South African civil society so that only the thugs, gangsters, and the state have use of deadly force. That's what it's all about. You will be at the mercy of the thugs and the government. A government that must disarm its citizens is not a legitimate government. Australia, illegitimate. New Zealand, illegitimate. United Kingdom, illegitimate. These are governments, Canada, illegitimate, who are disarming citizens on the spurious claim that weapons are a problem. Weapons aren't a problem. People who shouldn't have guns are the problem. Criminals, people with mental instability, Democrats. Did I say that out loud? Did I say Democrats out loud? I'm just kidding. Democrats are good people too. Citizens are more than 290 people in government. Cannot read or write. I'm sure it's more than that. Very snazzy. Paul Mashatile has always been compromised. He knows the skeletons. That's what I said. You know, what's he got on you? Hey Chris, we don't know what the world would do without you. Well, thank you very much, NDK. It's very kind of you to say. I'm loving the love here. Missed you last night. Had to listen to your rugby commentary. Kevin, I was on last night, but only briefly. When you say last night, you mean the noontime news for me, the 6 p.m. news for you. Yeah, I didn't do that. I had to get my taxes done. I made a lot of progress in my taxes yesterday. I included my sources of income. I took care of my my salary, my retirement, consulting money, my dividends, interest payments, interest receipts. Put that all in. I've still got to put in a bunch of other stuff. I had to go through my expenses and go through, and I realized how much I spend. You're going to pass out when you hear how much I spend. So I spend on subscriptions, which would be for software or services that I use, plus not magazines, but news sites. Anyone want to guess how much money I spend in dollars every year on that? Now, don't be crazy. What do you think I spend on that? Thank you for all the work you're putting in. Yeah. Video updates, especially appreciate being as busy as you are. You're welcome. Love the song. Do you like that song? Yeah. Put some effort in that one too. Hey, G-Man. Anyone want to guess how much money I spend on subscriptions? Mampara of the week only for individuals. Can a collective Mampara. That can be a collective Mampara too, Pete. Here's a drain. Crap comes out and stinks. Democrat. Oh, you got that, Daredevil. Okay. Hi, Lorraine from Secunda. Do you think the security bill will go through? I hope not. Yeah, China can't afford to lose our connection. Oh, Mampara means fool. He said he'll kill or knows where I live. I doubt he does. Why white people are labeled as bad people in some African countries and they're being chased away or not looking? Because people are racist and bigots. That's why they do it. And because it's human nature to be afraid of the other. Whether it's the other Neanderthals, the other, Homo ladies, it's the other. Those who are different from a different group, a different clan. Look at Somalia's clans. It's not based on race, it's based on clans. Maintenance paid for 16. That's true, Maz. 5,000. Ooh, Sonia, that's not a bad guess. 500, Lindy. Okay, 1,000. Peter. All right, good guesses here. Kate Ken Harrison, what's going on? Police services just 5. Oh, I know that. 500. 900. Lots of good guesses here, but one was close. Just interested, could the U.S. freeze that creep Zelensky's ownership? There's no platinumship bond. You haven't seen my video, have you? He doesn't own any platinum on this nonsense. NDK, 100 Rand, thank you for that super chat. It's easy to expropriate the property when the civilians' private security disarmed. Exactly. Subscriptions are a way of owning nothing and being happy. That's true. It's like software. And it comes, hey, good evening there, Ronaldo. What's going on, man? Hey, Ronaldo, they're asking about Rob Herzog's media company. I said, I really don't know much about it, but I can say, I mean, it's he's mentioned it in Biz News. That's how I heard about it. Publicly heard about it. Welcome, everybody. And this thing about Trump's offer. 5,000, 6,000, 1,500. Okay, it's over $4,000. I think it's 4,200 last time I looked. $4,200 a year in subscriptions. That's to media like Wall Street Journal, Barron's, to Jeune Afrique, to Faznet, to New York Times, Washington Post, Washington Times, Media 24, Times Live, all these places, yeah. Plus my software, lots of stuff. Temperature said north, yeah. Welcome to all you guys. $5,124. Eves Lombard, that's a good guess. Okay. It's perceived as foolish, stupid, or lacking intelligence. Hey, Julius Blabin. China and EU cannot outlast Trump. They cannot outlast Trump. Europe's economy is heavily tied to exports and trade, particularly with the United States. Ours is not. Trade is a smaller portion of our economy than it is for any of these other countries. So they think they can hold out. We'll see. By the way, Trump has threatened 50% tariff, or was it 90% tariff tomorrow? If he doesn't get his way. China has till today to respond. What did I write down here? Yeah, 50% tariff on China if they don't take the retaliatory tariffs off by tomorrow. Resignations popping up. Ramaphosa, they said that Ramaphosa resigned a couple years ago. I said he didn't. Silly stuff. Haven't made a valid, in my opinion, point in the refugee issue. State Department may see crime issue as just crime and not a racial issue, but would it be an issue? It seemed okay. All right. Again, let's be clear about this. There are categories of people. We'll talk refugees. Categories for refugee. One of them is priority 2. Priority 2 is when you're designated as a group. And I use the example, which is a perfect example, makes sense. If you're gay and you're in Syria, and they're throwing homosexuals off the roof to their death, well, it doesn't matter whether you have perceived threat or whether it's a crime. It is a crime. But your life is in jeopardy because you're a member of a group. If you're a Armenian, a century ago, in Turkey, you were being slaughtered. If you're a Roma or Sinti, in Germany, you're being slaughtered. It doesn't matter. Priority 2 is a group. President Trump has determined a priority 2. The bill that's in Congress now, which is a separate effort, also talks about priority 2, which is a group of people. So I'm not sure what Evan's talking about. He's an attorney. He knows immigration law better, but he deals with asylum cases, not with refugee cases. So I'm not going to contradict him, but I don't understand what people are talking about here. Trump has made it clear in the executive order. Now, they may change that, but that's what the executive order says. The executive order says a category of people, a class of people, known as Afrikaners. Not clearly defined, but known as Afrikaners, who are suffering from racial injustice. You know, the questions people ask now in these preliminary interviews are to get a baseline for what they're dealing with here. And the State Department may very well say that crime is just crime, but it isn't germane. It's not germane, nor is it Tito or Michael Jackson. Dad joke. Yeah, it's not germane to the conversation. What is germane to the conversation is Trump has identified a priority 2 group of people at a priority 1 through 4. That doesn't mean rank order, it just says different types of priorities. So it really doesn't matter. I don't understand. I haven't talked to Evan. Maybe I should talk to him and ask what he's getting at here, but from my perspective, it's irrelevant unless they change the executive order. But only Trump can do that. Nota Bloye mentioned me? Are you serious? What podcast? I didn't know he has a podcast. What kind of music does Nota do? He's a music producer. He mentioned me? What did he have to say there, Face? What did he have to say? Does he want to put his vocabulary up against mine, his vocabulary prowess? Big flood warning. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, the Vol River, yeah, big time. The Vol Dam has had water released from it. There's all kinds of water. Kinshasa's got huge flooding. 1.5 meters of water is up. It's insane. At least 33 people already dead from that. 40-year mortgage can be considered a subscription to. Who does a 40-year mortgage? Never heard of 40-year mortgage before. Heard of a 30-year mortgage. Yes, it's iced tea and a cola cup. They still haven't stocked the sweet tea. The EU with 510 billion in U.S. exports might flex with 20% retaliation. Go ahead. Go ahead. We'll give them 50%. 104% total on China. Well, that's not what Trump said. You mean with the additional 50%? Yeah, good. German auto jobs to tied to export, French wine, take a hit, I think 500,000. Yeah, exactly. They'll lose more than 500,000 jobs, yep. I mean, South Africa is going to lose in its auto industry 145,000 jobs alone, not to mention all the jobs for the suppliers, the transporters, all the people who have restaurants and cafes and the petrol that people won't be able to buy and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's a disaster. You know, 50 countries have rushed to America to negotiate with the Trump administration to get the tariffs reduced or gone. Not South Africa. No, they're not here. Timothy Cooper's, well, Cooper just Scuderia. Pride is costing when the U.S. consumes 17 trillion yearly, and they don't. I'm not sure where you're going with PK, but if your point is that those countries will suffer because we won't buy their goods, yes. I mean, we can do without new stuff. We can go a year or two without it. Can they go a year or two without jobs? I don't think so. Sniffing around. Yeah, they're already in DC this week. Yep. Oil is 25% GDP, lumber 70% of U.S. supply. Well, the reason lumber is 70% of U.S. supply is because they sell illegally here. Canada subsidizes its timber. The U.S. doesn't do that. And so they have a huge advantage, and they've undermined our timber market. But Weyerhaeuser and all these other guys don't need, we have tons of timber here. We don't need Canada's timber. But hey, as long, if they rape the forests of Canada for our timber, I'm fine with that. Let our forests be healthy. Yeah, 900,000 jobs at risk in Mexico. Ronaldo had a video about the Daily Maverick. Louis, 140 around super chat. Thank you. Isn't the U.S. the largest food exporter with the Dutch? I think it's the opposite. I read that the Dutch are the largest food exporter in the world. I found that hard to believe. Found that very hard to believe. I thought the U.S. was number one, but I read on a couple sources that said, and I haven't seen the stats that support that, but read that that in fact the Dutch are the largest exporters in the world. I think they're probably the second. I think you're correct about the DK. 1957. Oh, it's going bad. Thank you, Joe Cruiser. Yeah, see, people. So I saw the business thing earlier when I had a little bit of break with Alex Hogue and with Helen Zilla, who still haven't had on my program. If anybody has a contact for Helen, please give it to me, and I will reach out to her again and see if she wants to come on the program. It's been, what, 5 years I've been waiting now. But Helen Zilla and Alex Hogue talking about, she basically, I think, she wasn't being rude, but she was rubbishing Trump's tariffs and saying he's going back to an era that's in the bygone past. Well, I would take exception to that and tell her that if that were the case, she also mentioned Smoot-Hawley, trying to equate, like many people are now trying to equate Trump's tariffs with Smoot-Hawley, which was a disastrous piece of legislation here in the U.S., which led to a global trade war in the 1930s. But there was no open global trading system when that happened. So that's a false analogy to begin with. Number two, the circumstances are wildly different in so many other aspects. So comparing today to Smoot-Hawley is not a fool's errand, but it's not the appropriate comparison. And the proof of the pudding is that, look at 50 countries already sent delegations to Washington, D.C. They've clogged the flights coming over here trying to get the tariffs off. So obviously people want to negotiate. They want trade. Severe lightning. Okay, Cornelia. Endocrinologist. Autoimmune. Oh my goodness. Sorry to hear that, Loretta. Gosh, man, all this stuff happening is on that people's health. Look for way, in other words, sharp and sweet. Okay? Things are happening fast on small business closing down daily. That's terrible. Crime we experience affects everything in our daily lives. I got you. Yeah, Napoleon. Well, that the expediting was happening before Trump said anything. The last parliament passed expropriation on the compensation. Ron Post just chose to wait to sign it at the right time. I hear you, Joe. Cage match, Chris versus Notabule. Look, I'm not getting in an argument with Notabule. What did Notabule say? What would happen if there was an incident with President Trump's administration? We were halfway there. No. The circumstance would have to change. Once you're granted status, what do you mean halfway there? I don't just mean halfway there. You mean over the Atlantic? Then you come. Interview with Davi Root was exceptional. Thank you, Ken Ariston, but I got a lot of flack for it. People were pissing and moaning when Davi was there. Oh, he's clearly superior. He stipulated such. Okay, well, it's probably true. The Dromedaris, the Riga, and the Good Hope von Riebeck. Yeah, no. In fact, Jan van Riebeck arrived in the Cape with a stronger maritime fleet than all of South Africa has today. PTSD. You guys do have PTSD. No, it doesn't taste like black rooibos, no. I mentioned you on the Hustler's Corner. Oh, that one. Okay, along with Rob Hersel. He made an apology? All right, well, Face, I will have to watch that in the Hustler's Corner and see what he said. He mentioned me. Wow, I'm going to have to check out the Hustler's Corner. When was the video? Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's the last thing I expected. Trump going to sanction all this? I'm telling you, people, everybody's watching these streams. I mean, look, I'm not posting. I'm nobody special. I'm not any more valuable an egg out of the dozen than anyone else. But people are definitely watching. I see it in politicians who are now mimicking and echoing things I've been saying for 5 years. Suddenly, the words I've been using are appearing in the vernacular of DA politicians, of EFF politicians. Malema was saying things today that I've been saying. I've been telling you that, white folks born after, over half the population is born after 94, so why are you blaming that? Well, Malema, after all this, and I know he's been listening lately, or someone's been listening and telling about it, has come back with a comeback. Well, it doesn't matter if you're born after 94, you're still thieves. Now, how is that? Well, because your parents are thieves. Unless you give back the land they stole, then you're a thief because you have stolen property. Yeah, okay, not going to work. Try to sanction. I don't know if he's going to sanction them. Private jobs, there, right? Yeah, it could be Charles from the tariffs. Yes, that means Temu and Shein are not going to be cheap. People won't buy that crap. Short and sweet update, please. Short and sweet update on what, Eugene? It's a live stream. What do you want short and sweet? Regardless. Hey, John Jarvis, where the hell have you been? I haven't seen you in donkey years, man. I thought you died. Glad you're well. Let's go in there, John. Thinking that applicants still have to justify, explain. Well, John, I don't believe so, based on what the law says. Not an attorney, so you don't take my advice. Just read the law for yourself. They're going to expect you to try to explain it. But the sheer basis normally in the past of being identified as part of a special group of interest to the U.S. would get you into it. In the past, you wouldn't have to justify. And you don't have to justify that you've been a victim. You just have to have a well-founded fear. I think that based on what's happening in South Africa, Afrikaners, not just Afrikaners, have a well-founded fear of retaliation. I mean, Jaco Basson, I think it was earlier, was talking about his wife. His life was threatened today because he didn't give money to someone because she's white. People presume that you have resources because you're white. It's ridiculous. Good to see you again there, John Jarvis. Like something happened to you. Graves' disease. Oh my goodness. Gosh, you guys have so many illnesses. Thank you, Funk. Trying to cut down their farms. Ridiculous. Oh, the Dutch are stupid these days. Wendy from Ox says, honest thoughts on Iranian. What does it stand for? NDK, 40 Rand. Thank you for the super chat. Super sticker. Wendy, listen, I have talked about Irania several times, and I get no views. I mean, just saw someone else just went there. Some black guy went there and made all these crazy claims about it, and he gets 1 million views. And I talk about an Iranian video, I get 5,000 views. So I don't know why people want me to talk about it. Look, I have no problem. It's a private corporation. It's like a homeowners association. They can set the rules. And I also don't agree with the lies that are said about them. From my perspective, it's got nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with culture. If your culture aligned as an Afrikaner, then you can live there. I mean, if you're a Dutch Calvinist, you speak Afrikaans, you can live there. But I mean, again, I appreciate that people live there, but I wouldn't want to live there. It's in the middle of freaking nowhere. I mean, I like to be away from people, but not that far away from people. It's freaking 9 hours in a dusty road to get out there. No, thank you. I mean, Uppington's too far away. The only reason I go to Uppington is I can fly there. What they stand for? They stand for, self-posture. It's funny because the very people who are upset with them are bitching and moaning that white people are exploiting blacks, but nobody who's black is being exploited in Irania. The manual labor is done by white people. The plumbing is done by white people. The electricity is done by white people. The farming is done by white people. White people do everything. Now, there are other issues. Some people look at it as kind of a cult thing. I haven't been there, so I can only tell you what I know. Anyway, I have no problem with Irania. I have no problem with the Ingenioma Trust either. Yeah, you're right, BK. Once the U.S. reestablishes its factories and produces things here, we won't need their crap. So they better get their crap together now before, it's... So let me give you a perfect example of what's going on with these tariffs, okay? And China is screwed up. So about 15 years ago, thereabouts, maybe it was a little longer ago, the Chinese were angry with the Japanese over these islands in the Sea of Japan. South China Sea, as I like to call it. Yeah. The Sea of Japan. And they rammed a Japanese vessel, Coast Guard vessel, something like that. So the two sides were trading blows. Well, China decided to get even with Japan because it didn't accede to what China wanted by cutting off rare earth elements. The Chinese had cleverly gone around the world, purchased all the rare earth mines, plus they produced a lot themselves, and they had control of 95% of rare earth. At the time, the United States had one mine in California, and they closed it down, so we had no rare earth element production. So China had 95%. So this is the early days of electric vehicles, like the Prius from Toyota and others, and they needed the rare earth elements to make the batteries for their car industry. So the Chinese thought they were clever, and they shut it down. They shipped nothing. So the Japanese electric vehicle market was screwed. It took them about 6 months to figure out ways to come up with alternative materials that did as well or better than what they were using. They were forced to innovate because the Chinese cut off their supply. So the Japanese innovated, and they innovated their way out of demand. So that embargo had no effect other than short-term losses for the Japanese car makers. But in the end, they came up with alternative means, and they didn't need Chinese rare earths. So the Chinese no longer have a market in Japan, dumbasses. And that's what's going to happen with these companies that want to slap tariffs on us. Well, the rand is 19.6. It's going to hit 20 soon. He's on every Monday. I didn't know that. Harold Dominguez, okay. Angelique, how's it going? Fellow soon to be tent dweller. We all, what's this? Because we've been classified as a group. Can we all concision? What is concision? I don't know what that means, Saki. What is a concision? Hey, Martin. Just joined, Colonel. Looking good in a tie. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. UK is a mess, too. Already said we 29 in the month. Looks like he was wrong. Might be that at the end of the, it might be 21 at the end of the day, Marcel. I started listening, try to follow the remarks. Forgot to say good evening to you. Okay. Can't get pitch pine over the UK anymore. Huh. When will sanctions that? Well, I don't know. Thank you, Sue Sykes, for the 70 rand. Hello, Chris. Out with the old doorknob phrase and in with the latest. As dumb as a Paul Mashatile. Well, maybe he'll get Rasuled. Did you guys like my song last night? I made a new song last night. It's going to hell in a handbag, Chris. Okay, I hope Trump and his team are watching. Hey, Claudine, how's it going? Lots of people jumping in here. Fun, Rebeck didn't build it, but it's administrated Dutch East company who built the castle. Yeah, I didn't say anything about the castle. Did somebody else say something about it? Yes, Primal Board, America will be stronger than ever. Trump is not messing with the 401k. Well, the problem is this. They think Trump is responsible for the value of the stock market declining. Well, his imposition of tariffs has spooked the market, but when the market comes back, they won't give Trump credit for creating the conditions that made it possible for these companies to soar their profits. Worried about all the border mice coming, especially with this suit and tie. Well, Louis, there might be a small population boom here on the East Coast. I didn't see his apology. Okay. Joy, welcome to you. SABC did exactly the same this week and with the news. Did what? Apologized? Would we have a choice as to what state? No, Wayne, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. You go where the Department of Homeland Security puts you. You do, however, get a chance to tell them where you'd like to go. And if you have a job that's waiting for you here, or if you have family that's here, or someone that's sponsoring you here, or preference, you can tell them that, and they might accommodate you. No promises. I think Trump is setting us here to be fully self-sufficient. No, we're not trying to be fully self-sufficient. We're just trying to balance things out, that's all, and bring back some production here. I mean, it's ridiculous. These companies have all shorted our production for a few cents, a few margins of profit here. Tiana, enjoy my interview with Davi. I thought so too. See, guys, and what's interesting about the thing with Davi, it's like when I talk to everybody, is that my segment is called the Indaba interview, the Indaba conversation with Chris. It's not really an interview. It's not a traditional interview. It's more like a David Frost 1970s sort of conversation. And we challenge each other. That's the idea. I mean, it's boring for me to just sit there and ask one question, sit back and listen. I mean, that's not interactive. So I get interactive with my guests. What's your take on the time process for FG status? Guys, you keep asking me to make a projection about something I have no information in. I can tell you how long it should take. Should already be underway, in my view. But that's my view. That doesn't mean that's how it is. So, we have to wait and see. Okay? He read an apology on X. Well, that doesn't change the fact that he said this stuff. Look, I'm not trying to attack the guy, but what he said is a violation of the law in South Africa. I don't believe in that law. I think that law is illegitimate. It's a human right to say what you want to say. But I mean, if South African Human Rights Commission continues with its demonic possession and trying to prosecute Ronaldo Cruz and bankrupt him, then they should be going after that guy as well. He said something far more egregious. I didn't see the apology, so. The investment's not so wait. Yeah, we'll turn around in a spectacular manner, I think. Chris is actually an undercover superhero. Some say he's Batman. I'm Batman. With enough capital investment and technology, I could be Batman. I'm Batman. They're teaching the people that the ship sank. The Dutch ships didn't sink. Oh, Face, I know people watch my show. I know that. I know that Daily Maverick watches my show. Newsroom Africa watches my show. SABC watches my show. IOL watches my show. News 24 watches my show. I know this. They probably count for the big surge in viewership recently. What do you think? Will we all be able to go sell? Well, I mean, I don't know why you couldn't. Must be because you have so many of us watching your channel. I don't know. Double down a few times. Yeah, I have to take a look and see. Charles says, read the real watching your screens because they're accurate and comprehensive. They are. I mean, I talk about all kinds of things here. Do not undervalue yourself. You're making ripples which will eventually become waves. Well, thank you, Celestial Concerto. I appreciate that. All I'm looking for is people to tell the truth. That's all. And I just want people to treat each other fairly. Everybody. Everybody in South Africa has something to contribute. Everybody has a story. And quite frankly, those who seek to divide us based on artificial... Look, it's artificial. If it wasn't artificial, you couldn't sleep with a black man or black woman and have kids. Black folks can sleep, white folks can have kids. We can mix. We're the same. Stupid people out there trying to hurt each other. Holiday homes were there in the Cape. Yeah. Well, that was funny. I saw Julius Malema say that if they were in power, the EFF would steal the farms and give them back to the farm workers. Well, there were no farms that were stolen. There may have been a few small farms that were confiscated during the apartheid era, but by and large, the land that is occupied by white South Africans, his land has been occupied by white South Africans mostly since the 19th century or sooner. Just gaslighting, trying to seek favor back from Trump and get money again and carry on stealing. Okay, if you do not have stock, okay. I'll tell you some of your trove of information for us. I haven't said so before, just to use thank you. Thank you, Gadget. You're mimicking, yeah, exactly. No, and I see it, folks. I mean, look, I use vocabulary that sometimes that you just don't hear, right? I mean, I use South African vernacular. I use English vernacular when I'm talking UK and Irish vernacular. I use phrases like, I mean, when I'm talking to people in Ireland and UK, I say in hospital. I don't say that in America. I talk about being in the hospital. That's how you're supposed to say it. So, but what's interesting, I also use my own words and my own vocabulary, which I don't hear people in South Africa using, but suddenly my phrases are showing up, coming out of the mouths of politicians, coming out of the newspapers. It's funny. I have SCOMs pushing my phone. Thank you. You guys are very complimentary today. Exactly. Now, you bought your house in 97 after 94, so you're still land thieves. According to Julius Malema, you're a land thief. Yep, and he's going to steal it back. Thank you, Joy Scott. You're helping give us a voice to be heard and start over. I know you mentioned that you're not encouraging us to leave. You care about us. Yeah, well, I care about you. I care about everybody. I mean, it's just a lot of people are assuming it's only Afrikaners I care about. No, I've always said from the beginning of doing this program, I promote 3 cultures in South Africa, and I have no problem with any of them. Well, except for the culture of the communists. That's the Sutu, the Tswana, and the Afrikaner culture. And by extension, the colored folks. It's not CIA or NIA to know when and where and how. Huh? Parents paid for their property and their land, pay rates. Exactly. Exactly. Joseph Malema is just an asshat. He's a clown. And I know EFF are watching this. Tried to watch it earlier, still live, but couldn't get past 20 seconds. If we leave, we're screwed. Why are you screwed if you leave, RJ? Take a note of your detailed and depth of insight. Well, thank you for that. Looking sharp. I'm very, what's this? I'm very sure that once the FG program actually starts, there'll be more people looking to take up the radio channel. Well, I hope that more people come into the channel. We're growing. We're over 72,000 today, folks. Okay. No, I'm not meeting a lady. I'm working, doing consulting. Yeah, do they have to pay the back taxes? Yeah, no, I remember. Don't you guys know that rugby was founded in the Eastern Cape by the Xhosa? Yeah, I know. We all know the story of the Xhosa Impalas. Yeah, they're the original OGs. They invented rugby. It wasn't done by William Webb Ellis, who picked up a soccer ball and ran with it in England. No, it wasn't by him. It was by the Xhosa. Yep, and apparently for some reason they just quit playing it. I think it was because the apartheid forced the Xhosa to stop playing rugby. They stole the game from them and forced them to play soccer, which is the world's most popular sport, much to my chagrin, for whatever reason. So apparently that's what happened. You're welcome, Tian. The problem with white people doing the jobs because they deny black people jobs. Well, some Malema says, he says, it's the black folks that are doing the work. It's black people who are driving tractors, harvesting, and have the know-how to work the land. We require no white supervision. Not only do you require no white supervision, you require no white participation in the economy, or in economics, or in university, or in society, because you're just a flaming scumbag there, Julius Malema. Iran, you must fall. Julius is an idiot, so. Business that Trump shouldn't try to get manufacturing back to USA and tariffs won't work. Yeah, she's wrong. She's wrong, Alfred, man. We've already seen tariffs work in several instances. Denmark is now spending $1 billion to buy 3 frigates to patrol Greenland, which they wouldn't do before. That's because of the threat of the tariffs on Denmark. That was before the current round. So Denmark did that. Colombia, which refused to take back its criminal alien nationals after agreeing to take them, took them back within an hour of Trump threatening 50% tariff, 25% tariffs on them. That changed. Panama stopped the Chinese involvement in the Panama Canal overnight because of the threat of tariffs. Tariffs do work when you have all the cards, and Trump has all the cards. Yeah, Kleinfontaine outside Pretoria. I'm aware of that one. It's not placid fun. Okay, so Peter, it looks like, yeah, we are. Okay, we are the largest. Okay. That's what I thought. I don't know why you can't see chats, Rihanna. I can see it. I don't know what's going on. Some setting maybe on your phone. Yeah, exactly. And when you keep threatening people with war and violence, eventually they strike first. That's a good point. I know you don't know everything, but do you know if I can go and talk to my wife? She has diabetes and gets very hot and can't go for an interview. I don't know that you're required to take family members if you're the head of a family and you're applying for all of them. I don't know that you have to, so I should imagine that you can pull that off. If and when you're getting offered an interview, then just ask them and tell them the circumstances. What is stage 2 refugee status? Stage 2? You mean priority 2? It's a group designated by the President or State Department, like homosexuals, gypsies, Armenians, Afrikaners. My wife walked in the TV room and said, "Chris looks very smart today. Where is he?" Okay, there's a super chat from Wesley from Ox 7 Rand. Thank you for that. I agree it's good to run here, keeping the culture alive. Okay. Marissa, thank you for your membership. 1 month, cool. Screen recording of notes on WhatsApp. Thank you for that. Yeah, Mampara does work so well. I love it. Thank you for what you're doing. You're welcome, Maritinas. Trump wants high-tech and top and durable good manufacturing in America. China can keep making fly swatters and Temu goods. Exactly. Exactly. I want my Westinghouse wash machines made in Iowa. I want my Amana ranges made in Iowa. I want my refrigerators made in America. Rihanna says, came to UK, now people are fleeing here too. Yep. Maz liked the song. Potholes. Kids usually hear in the Netherlands are felt like Dutch classmates. Mampara, yep. And so, the aspiring new CEO of Stillmore is pushing the naivete out to take over the... What? Sad song, but it's true. Welcome to you, Michael Cook. You guys did like the song. Cool. Good evening. Jumping ahead a little bit here. What went... Worst case, people thought how bad can the USA hurt us? Oh, Dion Labaskakny, how badly can the U.S. hurt you? Already hurt you very badly. You could lose upwards of 600,000 jobs or more in South Africa, not to mention all the Americans, depending how far it goes, not just the sanctions, not just the tariffs, but sanctions could be applied, a trade embargo could be applied, U.S. companies could be barred from doing business in South Africa. The impact could be earth-shattering. In the 1980s, the government or the National Party could afford to be self-sufficient, and they had ways to get around the sanctions like oil coming from Iran and getting military hardware from Israel and other things. And they did a lot of their own production, and they used Sasol to convert coal to liquids. But that's all gone. The ANC has squandered all that. You don't have the resiliency you once had. So if the U.S. chooses to hurt South Africa, it can crush South Africa. So, yep. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Zim, Texas. I'm sorry I broke you down a little bit. Liberals moving 25. I didn't see the video, but I suspected that was the case. See if you can interview with this guy. Might be excellent. He did with business. Gabriel Kraus. I've interviewed Gabriel Kraus. I've interviewed Gabriel Kraus more than once on this channel. Do a search on my channel. Okay. My dad used to drive around and show us pothole. Now I dodge potholes. Yep. Charles says, I don't think you handle more than one border mice. Charles, I visit many towns. Many towns. Many dope. Yeah, I got a hot date. That's what it is, Yolanda. Johan Detroit, 35 Rand Super Chat. Thank you for that. Wall Street destroys... That's simply not true, Hillbilly Skelly. In fact, that's one aspect of Wall Street. Wall Street also raises money to finance companies and issue stock, which raises more money for companies to expand. It pays dividends to tens of millions of people as a source of income for investing in the company. It returns those profits in the form of share gains to best investors. So Wall Street does a lot of things, not simply the one thing you claim it does, Hillbilly Skeptic. Skeptical is fine. Interview conversation semantics. No, they're not semantics, Ken. No. The purpose of an interview is to ask questions about an issue. The purpose of conversation is to challenge someone and go back and forth. There's a very big difference. Very big difference, in my view. It's not semantics. Now, it's not appropriate to put your own personal views into something if you're interviewing. If you're having a conversation, that's a different situation. I don't believe any of these policies. I don't know. Malcolm Stark with 35 Rand Super Chat. It's the most outback country style conservative state in the U.S. Wyoming, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, man. Well, by the way, Ronaldo came in the chat, and him and Nota were challenging each other. Ronaldo came in the chat, when they were on the stream? Did you see the latest Malema rant where he says they have the duty to raise their spears in a very little sense? I didn't hear that part. I read what was said. Yeah. So UCT wins the game 48-35. That means the final will be in Cape Town, either at Stellenbosch or at UCT. 5 days no electricity. Wow. Stealing cables. Samsung. I like that. 400 likes. Well, we got 499 likes. We're close to that 500 mark. Yeah, you should treat everyone kindly. The golden rule works. Thank you. Congratulations there, Stuart Robinson. Wonder who she is. Going to share a link if okay. Did farmer have his cattle stolen in daylight? You won't be able to share that, DK, because only moderators can share links. I can't make you moderator here on this phone. It's Chris. It takes time to get back to honesty and integrity. For whom? No, you take preemptive strike, yeah. It's all BS. He was grandstand. Okay, you're just talking about him. They're spreading a message of hope. Thank you. Yeah, the EFF's still waiting on the school they promised. Yeah, I expected Tux to win that game. That's why I was concerned the game wouldn't be in Cape Town. So that's going to be what, next Monday on the 14th, the final. Yep. UConn women, 12th title. Is it Paige Bookers? You see the latest Malema? Okay, I read that. Okay. So happy that you are on this platform giving us the accurate information. Too many of my friends are watching mainstream here and other channels keep and giving. Yeah, well, people can believe what they want to believe. You don't have to believe me. I give you receipts. I don't just make stuff up. I show you where it comes from, and I give you analysis, and you're welcome to listen to me or not listen to me. It's kind of how it works. That's how objective people behave. Yep. You're welcome, Andy Page. Andy Pape, I think it is. Sorry. Well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate lots of people growing the channel, so thanks for joining us here. And please, those who are listening right now that aren't subscribers, please become subscribers. It really drives growth. Look at how the audience has become so large and how we got a lot going on here. You see the latest Malema, right? Okay. How many times are you going to post that, man? Stop posting the same thing. All right. My moderators, can you start deleting the stuff from Sean Peterson? I've answered it. Stop posting things multiple times. Oh, my goodness. Where are my moderators at? Why is nobody taking that out? You're going to get a timeout there, Sean. Yeah, and Columbia helps ship their own aliens back. Yep. Cheetahs. Oh, man. Angelique, no, I mean, actually, ads are coming like crazy on my channel because it's on a wave. The channel's on a wave right now. It's a wave, it hasn't crested yet, where, yeah, I'm making a little bit of money now. It's coming from advertising, so yeah. Yeah, absolutely. People watching the videos and watching the ads has an impact. Super chats don't hurt. Got some of those earlier, but yeah, 100,000. I mean, if I had 100,000, I could do quite a bit. I'm sure the revenue would be there. So, Mr. Corner with our personal panel that exchange made me understand the right word. I believe we are. Wow, Miss V, I'd love to get 150,000 subscribers. That'd be great. Taiwan isn't going to have retaliatory tariffs, instead import more U.S. goods. Well, smart move on the part of Taiwan. There's nobody here today, and usually there's too many people in the room to even notice me, so. Oh my goodness, moderators are sleeping here today. I don't believe this. I saw Helen's interview on Business News. Robertson King, well, they'll probably hurt badly. You're welcome, Vincent Fogel. See you later, Leandra. Toby Keith. John Greenlee says, yeah, Rob Hersoff did offer to pay for a plane ticket. He did. Virtual Western Cape got his passport today. It took 3 weeks. Well, thank you, Vanessa. Alaska and Hawaii, well, you got the Aleutian Islands, which are part of Alaska, which run way out towards Russia. It's probably the most remote part of America. Okay. NDK. Well, some monitors here because they're spanking the trolls. No, it was on the live last night, yeah, early this morning. It was at the start. So, and then it's also a video. I posted the video first. It's got 11,000 views last time I checked. Yep. It's called, Is This the End? Just spare room. Do you think that if and when we come to America that the Dems would show hostility towards us? I don't think you have to worry about that. Oh, I love to talk to you on Musk, yeah. So, hey, Guardian Preppian. Well, you've been here for a long time. That's just an update. What do you think, Austin, Texas? It's full of lefties. Dell's headquartered there. Not my cup of tea. Fences cut again last night. 2 water buck missing. Have you extension? Oh, jeez. Marius Polkita, communications minister, considers leveling on streaming services, fund SABC, YouTube. Let me know my premium is going up in July. Yeah, no, that's bullshit. Why should streaming services pay to subsidize a state-owned broadcaster? That's nonsense. Texas is not freezing cold. What are you talking about, Gadget? Appreciate your time, says Dion Labaskakni, and your reply, much appreciated. What do you think of Cape Town? I don't know about Cape Independence is going to happen. Tube account said unsubscribe, you don't like boats. Who said I don't like boats? Were you making that fake news up? I never said that. I read very interesting facts. My only colonel will agree that the surgeries won't survive there. It's right, Carmen. Not going to make it, Wyoming. It's not for you. These are not the droids you're looking for. Whoever this black man is very determined here. I didn't see it. Been removed. Did you find more land to claim? That's funny. There's always trolls here, folks. Thank you, Dee. I think 72,000 subscribers. Cool. We just dropped 50 subscribers. The trolls must have left. Did they all get like a message when they're supposed to leave and go harass someone else? What is bargaining chip? We don't go gold. No. What's the one thing South Africa's going for us? What bargaining chip do we have globally? Not gold. South Africa's the 10th largest gold producer in the world. You're nobody. You're just a rounding error. We produce more gold than South Africa does. China produces more gold. Australia produces more gold. Russia produces more gold. You're 10th. Gold is not it. Platinum is declining in importance as people switch to electric vehicles. Platinum was a primary contributor to the catalytic converter. And it's diminishing in importance. Yep. So you don't have any bargaining chips, Dion Lavaskakni. You did 40 years ago. You don't today. Process or actions of a government once a person is changed. Well, every government's different on Great Fund Art. If you're put on terror watch list in America, you can't enter the country, and you know if you can have charges against you, and they can try to extradite you. So, yep. What's the food like? It's okay. I haven't eaten here recently. I buy the drinks, so I'm not just taking up their space. African Skies. No, I didn't. You talking about the one that's been sanctioned? No. Hey, Guardian Preppian, how are you doing? Yeah, we can press smell small world. It sounds like I'm sitting in a bowling alley. Well, it's because I'm in a bowling alley. And there's a super chat from Benita Wilkin. Okay, see you later, Rentia. Thank you for that 140 rand super chat. How far are you from the racetrack? Which racetrack? You mean the Poconos? 2 hours. SABC and the disappearance of Afrikaans. What'd you think, Charles? There's Straight Point Comics coming to us in July, and we'll be in Washington on the 4th. Oh, that's interesting, Andre Clausen. Okay, pretty cool. You come up to Pennsylvania, let me know. Sean says, Polish was not showing mine, which is why I pasted so many times. Eventually I saw it stuck. Yeah, please don't. Well, you didn't hear my response because you're too busy posting it all the time. I answered it. Don't remember the question now. It's a troll. No, it's an effing troll. It's a goat. No, baby, it's just a goat. No, it's an effing goat. There's a sudden arrogance from Nancy that's not normal. I don't trust what's currently happening. There's more behind the scenes. Yeah, I agree, Jan. Thank you for standing with us. Okay. Dennis have a busy schedule. Troll Chris for an hour. Burn a Tesla. Get a nap. That's funny. Any place is better than, yep, okay. Do you realize the NC has effectively sanctioned themselves? Yeah, they have. And Nick gave 40 rand super chat. Thank you for that. Thank you. And Nick and Snazzin. Love you down to earth, truthful man. But thank you for that scary Mal Bell. Brunswick pins knocking about. The curse of ham is real. Last had steak, tuna. Wow, sweet tooth. Aaron says the job waiting for you is just need a visa. Sounds easy. Nope. No, it's not. That's why the refugee thing is such a gift. Such a gift. Sorry, Chris. I had a phone call from the bank, so I missed your comments. SND2, I don't personally watch SNBC. No, I thought you said you watched it. I thought you said you watched the video. So I was asking what you thought of it. Send you photos of our government faces to put in the bowling pits. Malema be declared. I don't know about to be declared a terrorist, but I think what he did over clicks was domestic terrorism. Yes, when he exhorted his followers to attack clicks locations, and one was petrobomb. I haven't forgotten that. Ashley Nell says, I think Nigeria's about 120 million bucks. What's up? Thank you for the super chat. First one, 35 rand. Okay. If a genocide should start, how quick would U.S. troops take the ride? Well, you're assuming U.S. troops would come, Dolph. And how would you define that? If you're asking how quickly America can get troops on the ground, we can have troops on the ground anywhere in the world within 18 hours. 18 hours or less. The 82nd Airborne has a brigade of infantrymen on alert 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 50 years. That's how we got troops into Saudi Arabia like that. They were there within a day. So we can have troops on the ground within that period of time. Doesn't take long. Doesn't take long. Yep. Now they cannot claim to provide media for certain race groups. Exactly. Stella, you're the one with the black screen. It must be a thing. Refresh it. Got my TV and Ronaldo on my phone. Now I'm chatting my spare phone. Did watch it. Okay, assume it was on the money because I don't watch SBC. Okay, it just doesn't mean they can all expect us to pay. No, they still expect you to pay. Where do Iranians go that don't support the regime? What decent country will take them in? Well, we took in 600,000 of them in the 70s. There's deeds of land that has been brought from Zulu kings, so nothing was stolen. Yeah, well, that's in KZN. That isn't the whole country. You got a whole country. Yeah, so there you go. All right, so I was going to talk about Paul Mashatile. I made a video on that. He says he's if he was a DA, he'd be ashamed to show up and be a minister when you didn't vote for the budget. Well, Paul Mashatile is not the brightest tool in the woodshed. I find his hypocrisy entertaining. Paul Mashatile lives in multi-million-dollar mansions in the Western Cape and in Gauteng, and he doesn't have the means to pay for them. So he's not ashamed that he's leeching off of his son-in-law or that he's corrupt. Is the USA worried about trade via the point of Africa? Is icebreakers doing his job in the Arctic? We only have one icebreaker, so we don't have icebreakers. The United States has allowed itself to fall because we have one dilapidated ancient icebreaker. We need to build multiple icebreakers. I'd have a fleet of 24, to be honest. So, yeah. Worried about trade in Africa? No. Africa's around here for the U.S. What do you think will be announced after Trump's meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister? No idea, Holden. Haven't thought about it. Probably about the hostages. Thank you for covering what's happening here. Yeah, Guardian Prepper. I think that folks like you are the smart ones. Those who've been preparing for the worst. You and Sightlander Civil Defense and others are the smart ones. You're welcome, Melanated Boots. Well, the scientists who developed the nukes during apartheid are all old, man. Those are a lot. Good evening to you. Okay. Crazy busy, but good to see you. All right, thank you, Joe. Sean, 18 hours, man. We can put troops anywhere in the world. We put them in Saudi Arabia in 18 hours. Yep, that's all it takes. Strip alert. The one thing we didn't do is guard the homeland. We used to have Homeland Defense during the Cold War, but then we let it disappear. We used to have entire armies stationed, the 6th Army in San Francisco, the 4th Army in Fort Sheridan in Illinois, and then we'd all fall apart after the Cold War because we struggled our way through the post-Cold War era. And so when we were attacked on 9/11, we didn't even have combat aircraft that could give air cap over Washington, D.C. So the closest Air Force base with attack aircraft for air-to-air intercept was in Langley, Virginia, and it took them too long to get to D.C. As a consequence of that, we now have air cap aircraft that sit on strip alert at Andrews Air Force Base in D.C. So they're in the air in less than 3 minutes max. Yep. How's it going? Good to see you, man. Yeah, so we get in the air in less than 3 minutes. Yeah, so we didn't have that defense. We allowed our Homeland Security defense to fall apart, and 9/11 proved just how foolhardy that was. But it's back up and running now, so troops on the ground, yeah. Sean, you're asking me to make a political decision, which I can't make. We've never done that before. Hey, Hendo. Pambani stated there are ways around for Trump to have third term. I don't agree. I don't agree with Pambani. And that's a distraction that shouldn't be talked about. If you want to talk about that, wait till year 3. Yep, you inquired about the murders. This is you want to charge people for the license if you have internet. You never police it. Yeah, exactly. Business Day even showed your video. Are you serious? Are you serious? Which bit today? Okay, that's interesting. They asked me for permission to show my video. They asked me Sunday morning, but I didn't see the message. Then they called when I was busy getting ready for the rugby, and I missed it. And so I gave them permission yesterday. So they used my video. Fish jumping out of water. That's funny. Nobody commented on it. I thought that was brilliant. What I like about that is, you see, I was nonplussed. I was unfazed. There's a fish jumping out of water. Oh, there it goes again. Oh, wow, that's what they use. They asked me if they could use a clip, and they told me when. I said, just use it. Biz News, I have no problem with Biz News. I appreciate them asking permission. When I've used their content, once or twice, I asked their permission. Yeah, I'm aware about the private security of Dion Laviscaki. We're going to cover that eventually. Isn't there a cutoff date? No, there's no cutoff date listed in executive orders. No, it depends which every executive order is different. It can be about anything under the sun. President Trump's executive order related to South Africa has no cutoff date. Wyoming's one of the cheapest states to buy land in. Yeah, it's because it's desolate. There's nothing there. Good day, Andre. Applegreen. I'm all right. Fair to middling. Went for an interview, but sorry, cannot say, it's private. Okay, Saki. Well, you didn't even have to tell us you went for an interview. You tell me an interview for a job or for refugee status. You can send it to me privately if you want. I don't disclose my sources when I give those interviews. Right? Explain those interviews. Name was given to the embassy in Pretoria. Will they be ahead of the line? I don't know. Is it Yanka? I don't know. I have no idea how they're doing it. I mean, in theory, there shouldn't be any queue, but they're already doing preliminary interviews just to get a feel for things. So I don't know. Just I think now that we know that it's a valid email address and that they're actually reading the things, it's probably wise, if you're interested, to send them an email. It doesn't go to anybody else. SADF super ready. Yep. Okay. What a great country. It says, thank you, Lord. Kamala never got. Yeah, no, we can put a man on the moon. We can halt polio. We can cure some forms of cancer. Maybe we can cure more. We're working on it. We can give opportunity to the world's oppressed. We can lead the world economically. We can advance the world. Yep. But we can't win a Rugby World Cup. Yes, he did. Andre Clausen, he had a bigger and more effective naval presence than the entire South African Navy today, yeah? Well, thank you, Dr. Clue. I think I'm a good man, too. I appreciate that. What's your opinion about Marine Le Pen's situation? I think I don't have the facts, but my first sniff on that situation is that it was a malicious prosecution and that she's been illegitimately convicted so that she can't run for president. That's what it's all about. We've seen the leading vote getter in Romania declared ineligible because of false allegations. As a conservative, we've seen a conservative in France being, they try to do the same thing to Trump. And so they're trying to take out conservatives the world over. They're doing the same thing to the Alternative for Deutschland, calling them Nazis and racists, which they're not. They may have a few Nazi and racist supporters. Ovechkin has broken the all-time NHL goal record. He beat Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky was there to see it. That's a shame. So a Russian now has the record. I missed that last night. I could have watched that game, but I was busy. So Ovechkin has now set the record from the Washington Capitals. Alex Ovechkin has the all-time record for leading goals, 895 goals scored. Of course, Gretzky was cheated because, he spent a couple years doing something else. It was in WHL instead of anyway, so. Oh my goodness, they did exactly the same number of games. That's crazy. 1,487 games? No way. Wow. That's impressive. So Ovechkin doesn't have the assist that Gretzky has. He'll never catch him on points. Wow, well done. He's all gray except for his beard now, Alexander Ovechkin. Wow, that's crazy. Marine Le Pen, I think, is just being railroaded. That's my view on it. I don't have facts, just my supposition. Yeah, and they're actually going to collapse the coalition, looks like, as a consequence. Hell of a bri, okay. Just one bri? When are you hosting? Who is Sakalika? I don't even know who that is. Speed Trump's going, he won't need a third term. Exactly. He's not going to need a third term. He just needs the first 2 years. Yep. Okay. Watch the Springboks take the third World Cup in a row. We'll have 5 cups, New Zealand's 3. I know. That's what I'm looking forward to, Sean. We will win again. Rossi has leaps and bounds. I hope so. I hope so. That's what I want. Well, that next World Cup's in Australia. Looking forward to it. In the event that the ANC boots the DA, okay, isn't that akin to... No, okay, so, Stuart, you didn't watch my video. The ANC can't boot the DA. That's why Paul Mashatile is a Mampara. Well, we're the National Working Group, the ANC will decide the fate of the DA. Yes. And we will consult with other GNU members on the fate. You consult with anybody. The fact that the ANC invited these other 8 parties to the party is illegitimate. This is an agreement, a coalition between the DA and the ANC. They made a statement of intent and formed an agreement, and they were supposed to work together. Then the ANC went out and invited all these other parties, which they didn't need. The ANC and the DA had 60+% of the vote. They didn't need anybody else. The ANC just did that so they could not get their followers incensed by teaming up with the DA. So they don't need anyone else. They don't own this. This is the arrogance of the ANC, the arrogance, the asshattery of the ANC. They don't own this government. They're a part of the government. They didn't create this agreement. They're part of an agreement. They cannot kick the DA out. Neither can any other members. No one can kick the DA out. The DA also can't kick the ANC out. They can leave. Either party can leave voluntarily, but no one can kick anyone out. It doesn't work like that. So anyway, so they're not going to boot them. I love the video. It was so natural. I thought they were showing your full video. Okay. Anyone had the experience when watching a video and after an advert comes on, the video suddenly has no sound? Yeah, it happens. It happens, Sasanaki. It does happen. Especially when there's a glitch in the data. Hey, Blackcurrant, welcome back. Arno, I have it on good information from a couple of people that there are people in the U.S. Embassy who are watching my content. And welcome to all the folks who work in the embassy and our consulates in South Africa. Thank you for the work you do each and every day. I hope that you're not getting abused by South Africans who are angry about this program. They don't understand that PRM does this, not the people in the embassy. That's not your job. So you probably take a lot of flack. And so appreciate the work you do. I've never had a bad experience with the people in Pretoria, whether it's the U.S. Americans, direct hires, or the Foreign Service nationals, which are now called something else, who work there. All good people, in my experience. And decent building there in Pretoria, in Hatfield. I've also been to one in Cape Town. Okay. South Africa produced 619 kilograms of gold in 1993 and only 88 in 2022. Well, one reason why, Barry, is the gold is so deep now. It's so expensive and hard to get to. Yep. Ambiguity wording consecutive. No, there's no question. It's not question of consecutive. You're only allowed to serve 2 terms. Doesn't matter consecutive. The one legal way around this potentially is if Trump becomes a vice president and the president's incapacitated or resigns, then he technically could become president because he's next in line and he overcomes the constitutional amendment. In theory, that works. And over for not paying for. Thank you for everything, even sitting in public to speak to us. It's wonderful. Oh, I do it all over, Lenny. You're very welcome. Are you certain there are no other FTU application forms or admin stuff to go anywhere? Keep feeling we're missing something. I'm not. Virtual Western Cape. You can go to USCIS and download the standard form they have there if you want and fill it out. You can also take the questionnaire that one of my moderators developed based on the interview when I made a video they put together. That was made available in the Telegram and the WhatsApp groups. You can get it there. I'm not going to hand it out to people because I don't want to be accused of sponsoring this sort of thing. But I did make it available to people, so you can do that. But am I sure there's no other forms? There's no program, so how can there be forms? There will be forms. So go there and download it. You'll get an idea of what. Watch my videos, get an idea of what they're going to ask you. So. Okay. 12K in arrears. I like Marie Le Pen since she first came to see. I liked her father too. Leave the Rugby World Cup for us South Africans. The only good thing we have is Sue. I guess you could put a man on the sun. This happened last week. My head is spinning. Well, look at me. I have to cover all the stuff. I, my wife, and my daughter applied for passports, did unabridged marriage certificate, and wife's unabridged birth certificate. Busy day at home affairs. It's busy day every day at home affairs because, despite the lies from the media in South Africa, a lot of people are looking at getting out of South Africa. Well, Ronaldo got 50,000 subscribers. Awesome for Ronaldo. That's good to see. It's good to see. Got me beat by a wide margin. More people need to share my content. But folks, because of you, the number of views I'm getting are just astounding, and where I'd rank globally is just amazing. Just such a big jump from just a few months ago. Thank you, Amanda. Many illegal firearm owners in South Africa. Do you think they would be able to legally bring any? Look, Ashley, I'm not an expert on that. Importing firearms in America is not an easy game. You can go to the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms website, do a search, importing firearms to the U.S. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Okay. Okay, Chris has sent me whoever this person is. Okay. Okay, what else? 7 of 10 South Africans unhappy with where the country's at. 7 of 10? I'm sure I think it's more like 99 out of 100. 1955, the Rand is climbing to 20, folks. Yep. Thank you for what you do in your time. Rugby, it's all we have. It's right. Yeah. Every time a new piece of news, jump over to get the facts. Well, that's actually a good approach, Rotten Pumpkin. When you hear something in the news, or you hear it on the radio, or you see it from one of the sites, listen to what they say, and then come here to get the truth. Yeah, they wanted to take her down badly, just like the Romanian guy they took down, just like the Alternative for Deutschland. So looking at Rhodesia interview when things started flaming up, it's the same thing is happening. Yep. Yeah, somebody said the state because they were born there. Now they're all gone. There's only 20,000 left. The DA isn't part of the GNU. Watch the price of bread and milk. Yeah. You must be earning quite a bit from your YouTube channel. Why do you make that assumption, Edward Dos Santos? Did you hear what I spend on subscriptions? I spend over $4,000 a year on subscriptions alone. Last year I had $17,000 in business-related expenses just providing my channel. I didn't make anywhere near that kind of money from my channel last year. $17,000. So I had a big loss, which lowered my income, which gave me a big tax return because I overpaid my taxes. Yep, $17,000 plus in business expenses, flights, lodging, subscriptions, petrol, all kinds of things. – 57% chance they might have been CIA in Pretoria. What are you talking about, Spiker Hunt? I can read to you a book that says they were there. Off to bed. Okay, well, thank you, Marco, for being here. Yeah, well, Malema's using hate speech again. I don't believe in the concept of hate speech. I believe in free speech, but that's not the law in South Africa, so he should be getting prosecuted. Off my TV and decoder in 2014. Well, the DA Minister for Home Affairs, is that what you're talking about? Leon Schroeder, is that who you're talking about? You said you wrote Schroeder. Schroeder. He seems to be doing a good job. Are you coming to South Africa? Never again, Edward. Never again. I said I'm never coming to South Africa again. So. You have refugee status. It's available next week. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Saki, I would ask you to send me a private message or an email. Elaborate what you're talking about. I don't want people spreading false rumors in here. And if you've been granted it and you're willing to let me tell the story, I will make a video on it this afternoon, which will be of great interest to people, if that's true. You did allude to something earlier you couldn't talk about, but you just gave it away. Thank you for all the hard work you're doing. You're welcome. Trump's recipe success reaps huge rewards, and it should be a law that keeps going. No, it gets 2 terms. That's it. We're not going to violate that. We already had a king in the past, and we didn't like him, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So. Five-year plan. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why you want to import firearms unless it's exotic, historic piece. I mean, you know, we've got more guns here than you can ever shake a stick at. Okay, hey, Loretta, you saw someone walking with a uniform. You don't need one anymore. What's this? I just saw someone walking with a uniform. You don't need one anymore. I don't understand your comment, Rihanna. I'm at the Army War College, Carlisle Barracks. People on active duty still wear uniforms. Amanda's telling people to do an electronic application. Well, I don't know that it helps you. It doesn't help you. People affected by a music video released earlier today. Profound on point. Well, thank you, Barbara. I'm sorry if I hope it didn't hurt your feelings. Okay, leave it with someone who will need it. Yeah, there you go. All right, catch you later, Steve Newbold. Thanks for being here. Irish Shabang is here. Okay, I didn't see that. He's probably going to talk to the Saudi prince about BRICS. He's also going to talk to him about oil. So what else would he talk to him about? You're out of focus. Nope, I'm not out of focus. You're out of focus. I'm not out of focus. I can see myself perfectly focused here. Refresh your page. 40 Rand Super Chat. Thank you for that. Thank you. Julius Malema basically threatened violence today and yesterday. Argentina is interesting. I wouldn't want to live there, but it's interesting. Thank you, Virtual Westgate. Love the poker face. You would make a fortune in Vegas. Charles, maybe. Rob can put me in touch with Sakalika. Okay. Yeah, Argentine president is legendary. Water off since yesterday, says Crystal. King George got the boot by the USA too. Pressman, will the United States under this administration support a Cape Advance case? That remains to be seen. There's not much talk about that, although I know people have been talking about here in the States coming from South Africa, so I'll leave it at that. NDK, welcome to you. Thank you for the super chat, 40 Rand. Why is the location of the people in the background the same voices in the past 3 videos? What are you talking about, Kobus von Staden? Past 3 videos? No. They haven't been in past. I've done 4 videos today, and none of them were this background. None of them. Or did I do 1? Maybe I did the first one here, and then the other 3 were outside. Yeah. Building, teach general officers. Leon Schuster movie, yeah. No, BRICS currency can't be compared to the dollar. It's non-existent. Nobody wants it, so. No, I did not refer to deeply moved by. Oh, okay. Oh, your British citizen moving to the UK soon. Well, it's not much better there. Better move to Scotland. Okay, thanks for checking in, Stella. Okay. Where can I catch a new song? It's on the channel under videos. Look on my channel under videos. You see it there. It's called "Is This the End?" I'd play it, but I can't. Guess he's talking about the noise coming from the canteen. Yeah, there's nobody in here, so I don't know what he's talking about. Okay, I'm trying to catch up here. 722 likes. There we go. Okay, all right, guys, I've got to get back to work. Okay, so I got a long break today because there was break in the action, so I was able to do this. Be sure to hit the like button. Thank you all for being here. And time for you to announce this and get your time. I knew it 3 years later, apparently. What are you talking about? $100 for watching. Thanks. Okay, time well spent. Okay. Oh, while you're biking, cool. Is this the end? There's the Is This the End? Thanks a lot. Henry just put the link for Is This the End? Go watch it, folks. Go watch the video of the song, okay? Cheers. Thank you guys. Take care. Catch you later.